Joining me now is Dan Ford. He is the president of the National Funeral Directors Association, and he is also a funeral director in Cheshire. And Dan, good to see you here in the program.
Thanks for having me.
So funerals aren't exactly a cheery topic, but it's something that everybody needs to talk about.
Correct. And pre-planning is one of the biggest things that I encourage friends and family to do. Having the conversation is unbelievably important. And our national association, along with our state association, which I'm a past president of, has done great work in trying to get the word out about having that conversation.
How many funeral homes are in Connecticut, and how do people find a good one?
So there's well over 200 in Connecticut, and what I would say is our national association, in conjunction with the Funeral Service Foundation, has created a website, very consumer friendly, and it's called rememberingalife.com. And if you go to rememberingalife.com, you'll be able to punch in your zip code, and you'll be able to find a reputable funeral home in your area.
And who regulates them to make sure that they're reputable?
Well, there's a lot of state oversight as to what happens with funeral homes and inspections and things of that sort. And there's a lot of great organizations that invite those reputable funeral homes to become members.
What are the trends in funerals these days? Because after COVID, it kind of changed a lot.
It varies. So there's been an uptick in what we refer to as green burials, basically essentially simple burials without any kind of viewing or embalming or things along those lines. In fact, where one of our funeral homes is, there's a cemetery that in Naugatuck that essentially promotes green burials.
And how exactly, what's the process?
Well, the aspect is the less is more, if you will, Dennis. So the mindset is to ensure that, again, no embalming and just simple, sometimes there isn't even a casket, there's simply a shroud.
Are cremations on the rise?
Cremation is definitely on the rise. In fact, in our funeral homes, it's 62% of what we do. Some funeral homes, it's higher. It's based on preference, and it's not so much about price.
Because we have so many historic cemeteries in Connecticut, and I often wonder are you running out of land to put bodies?
No, we're not necessarily running out of land, but it's essentially people are getting, knowing that they have options. And again, having that discussion, and that website that I mentioned, rememberingalife.com, shows people those options, and people aren't as afraid of having the conversation.
So to our viewers at home, they're watching right now, they're thinking, oh, maybe we should think about this. What's the first piece of advice?
Communicate amongst yourselves. Tell families what you want, and I think it's important to tell families what you don't want.
Okay.
It's just as important.
Do you have a lot of arguments within families when, well, she said she wanted this, and no, I heard this?
Well, what I find is that people are open to having a communication with what they want or what they don't want, but it's also important to acknowledge what the next of kin might need.
Do you have a lot of people who come to you and plan it in advance so that when they pass, everything is written down? This is what I want. Here's how the funeral will be.
It's almost 50% of the time when the phone rings that we look that someone has come in and either prearranged to sit down and discuss what they want, or even gone as far as to pre-fund.
And in terms of the future of the industry, I know there was an HBO program, 6 Feet Under, which
yes,
sort of gave you an inside look as to what goes on in a funeral home family. Do you have a lot of people entering the business?
So my children have decided that it's not for them.
Okay.
My daughter most recently let me know it was not necessarily for her, and my son early on told me it wasn't for him. However, there's always an opportunity. I've tried to convince my wife, who's a nurse now, that this might be a third career choice for her.
Fascinating conversation. Difficult one, but
it is.
We have to have it. All right, Dan Ford, he is the president of the National Funeral Directors Association and also a funeral director in Cheshire. We thank you for being with us here today.
Thanks for having me.
When we come back, a local guy from Wethersfield who now announces at the Patriots games.